Hello everyone, Pumik here. Currently I'm standing on top of a hidden base, hundreds of blocks up in the sky. It can be built entirely in survival vanilla Minecraft. And in this video I'm going to show you how you can build it too. I discovered this technology a couple months ago, but I didn't make a video on it, until now as a response to Tausti's video on this flying boat technology. The principle behind this is very simple. The bottom boat is leashed on one of the upper boats, while the upper boat is placed on top of the other boats that are placed on the bottom boat. To build this contraption, you first have to build the boat column on the ground and then bring it up using a happy gust. To start, place 13 boats on top of each other. And then leash the bottom one to the top one. If you remove all supporting blocks, the contraption should stay hovering in place. Now, despite the fact that these boats will stay afloat, they can't be just pulled up by happy gust. For that you first need to leash the other boats together. So now imagine that the top boat is number 1, then number 2, number 3, all the way to number 13. And now you can use these instructions to connect them together. So, we've already connected 13 to 1, next up is 12 to 6. Then it's 11 to 5, 10 to 4, etc. The next step is connecting these boats to happy gust and pulling them up. I'm going to use stick freeze to freeze time and make it simpler for me, but if you are in survival I recommend building some sort of a box around happy gust so it doesn't fly off. Now take these 6 upper boats and connect them to the happy gust and sit on it. Now you can just hold spacebar to fly up. Make sure to not make any sudden moves or move much to the sides, otherwise it can break. Once you are at your desired height, you can use shears to remove the leads from the happy gust, and if you've done everything correctly, the boat should stay at one place, like this. There is also an alternative using Shulkers, but they are harder to get and they can attack you. The next step is to bring up more boats to make the platform. You can't, however, use boats without passengers, because they can be easily pushed around, even with other boats, and this would cause the whole structure to collapse very quickly. Luckily, boats with passengers can be just pushed by bumping into them, so that's why every boat here has some sort of a mob inside of it, and I use kittens for most of the boats, because their hitbox is small enough to fit inside the boat's hitbox, and the kittens had been fed using a golden dandelion to stop them from growing. And you can use the same boats with kittens for these floating boats beneath to give them more resistance to pushing. For the next step, use happy gust to bring up the necessary boats for the platform, position yourself exactly above the supporting column and drop them. Then use leads to move the boats exactly where you want them to be. course, it wouldn't be a base without any utilities, such as boats and llamas with chests for storage, mushroom for infinite food, and villagers for trading, unfortunately without restocks. The only natural danger this high up in the sky are phantoms, but there is a great way to ward them off: cats. Phantoms are scared of cats, so this problem is already solved. Other players can pose a danger too if you are playing on a competitive server. Boats and most other entities disappear when you are more than approximately 170 blocks away with render distances 20 and higher. Sadly, this can be negated by increasing entity render distance, which basically breaks the purpose of the secret base, unless you make it really far up. Also beware that happy ghasts disappear at 160 blocks horizontally, but at approximately 640 blocks vertically, with default entity render distance, so you can't just keep them up there without being spotted. And the last problem with this base is that it can be easily found using the pie chart. And that is everything from me for now. Everything you just saw was more or less a proof of concept, and I'd love to see some more stuff that you can come up with. I'd also appreciate any support in the form of a like, subscribe, or comment. See you next time. Goodbye.